Today's webinar on how to start a career in software testing. The agenda, we'll be looking at a brief introduction. And before we talk about how to dive into software testing, I'm going to talk a little about what software testing is, types of testing, and why do we do testing. Then we can move straight to how to start. Yep. So like Taye rightly said, I'm currently 9 years plus in the testing industry, and it has been a very, very exciting journey. According to Forbes, software testing is the #2 happiest job in US, but not just US, all around the world. You can ask any tester. We are always happy. It's a very, yeah, it can be challenging, but again, it's a very relaxing job, and you enjoy what you do, testing application, looking for bugs, issues, trying to improve an existing application, etc. So yes, software testing is an extremely sought after position in today's tech industry. There's no tech company or industry that would say they will ship in a product without testing. Some companies might not have internal tester. Some do have their own dedicated tester. But the goal is before any application gets to the end user, it must be tested by someone. And this is where we come in. Many people know about software developers, but only a few know about software tester. And that's why we said software tester are the behind the scene heroes of software development. Yeah, imagine a software that has been developed and it gets to the market, you downloaded it from Play Store, and you're finding it difficult to use. In terms of usability, it's very difficult. In terms of performance, the speed is very slow. So imagine you're trying to log in and it's taking 20 to 30 seconds. All these things can be frustrating. So ideally, before a product gets to the market or gets to the end user, it has to be tested. So that brings us to what software testing is. So software testing is the process of evaluating a software application to identify different bugs, issues. So just think of it this way: anything that is, when an application is not doing what it's supposed to do, we can term it a defect, a bug, or an issue. So, all these things can affect the functionality, performance, and security of a software. So in a simpler term, software testing is like quality control for software. Testers check different aspects of the software, such as how it responds to user inputs, how fast does it operate, is it secure? So these are some of the things we check while testing. And we do this to make sure that the software is reliable, free from errors, and ready for use by the end user. I'm sure many of us here might have downloaded one application or the other from either Play Store, App Store, and you find it difficult to use. Before you know, you uninstall it. And one of the cons to that is, for a business, is once a customer loses trust in your application, it's always difficult to gain that trust back. I've been in this position. I've downloaded apps that once I uninstall it, it will take the grace of God for me to go back and reinstall that app. So it's better we test proper, ensure the quality of our applications before it gets to the end user. Okay. Please, you can also confirm if the recording to cloud is ongoing on your end, because I did that before we started.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I proceed. All right, thanks. So responsibility of a software tester. So as a software tester, what are the things you should do or you should know? Some of the things include analyzing of requirements. So before an application is being built, there's usually a requirement in form of a document. What needs to be built, how it needs to be built. As QA, our job is to analyze them. We also create what we call test plan. I'm sorry, there are some terms I might be using that some of us may not be familiar with. But again, for those that will make that decision to, join into this path, it's something you get familiar with as you progress. So yeah, test planning. This is basically a document we create to, scope out how our testing activities will be. There's also a test case document. This document helps us, create like a step-by-step approach to testing different features of the application. For example, how do we test login? What are the things we need to check for login? Example, check if users can, sign in with valid or invalid email, etc. Then next, defect reporting. When you find an issue, you report them. One other thing we do a lot is documentation. We also execute different types of testing. Collaboration is a key part of our job. We need to collaborate with every member or stakeholders in the organization. Communication, very, very important. Adherence to testing standards, important. And finally, continuous learning. So these are some of the responsibility of a QA engineer. Now, why become a software tester? So one, if you have an eye for perfection, you are the type that loves to review software or products, you are the type that find faults in software, then I believe this career path is an ideal path for you. A software tester job can be challenging enough, but very interesting. Like I said earlier, I've been in this industry for 9 years plus now, and I don't think I've ever been down doing my job. I enjoy it. I love it. It keeps me going every day. I'm always happy to wake up and, jump on my laptop, test one or two applications, what else? Software testing is different from other jobs that seek specialization in a narrow set of skills. As a tester, you get to develop a wide range of skills, and this is one of the benefits that I've derived from testing. Being able to collaborate with other departments, being able to work with other department engineers, DevOps, project managers, it has helped me gain a wide range of skills. Today, I see myself fitting into different roles. Today, I can decide to say I want to be a project manager. I can decide to say, yeah, I have little front-end development skills. I do DevOps as well. And all these things have been possible via collaboration. The growing demand of software tester is very high. It has advantage of career in software testing and diverse opportunities, just like I rightly said. So next, purpose of software testing. Another thing we need to know is what are the purpose of software testing? As I've mentioned earlier, is to meet specific functional qualities, which also include security and also the performance of the application. So one, identify defect. I know I've mentioned some of these things before: quality assurance, functional validation, user satisfaction, security, performance evaluation, compliance. You can see that you play a very key role when it comes to developing a software. We are the behind the scene heroes that people don't really know how they're. Customer just download the software and, oh, I love the software, and they're enjoying it. Yeah, but we have paid the price of ensuring the quality of the application, ensuring it's usable by our end user, continuous improvement, so also application error prevention, risk mitigation as well, maintenance and support, and overall, software testing is an integral part of software development process, contributing to creation of highly quality, reliable, and secure application. So there'll also be room for question and answer at the end of this slide, so you can take down your questions while we proceed. So let's talk about the software testing career path. The first on the list is QA analyst. So this is for an entry-level role, and the years of experience is usually 0 to 2 years thereabouts. But another thing to note is that companies do have their own career paths, which might be different from this or slightly different. So next is senior QA analyst, and yeah, this requires like 2 to 3 years of experience in the field. QA team lead, coordinator, 4 to 6 years of experience. QA manager, 6 to 11 years of experience. Senior QA manager, 11 and above years of experience. Yeah, I think I became a senior QA 3 years into my career. I became a lead 4 years. I became a manager 5 years into my career. I know someone that was a manager 3 years into the industry, then was working with Remoni. And like I always tell people, it's not really about how far, but how well. What can you learn, deliver, implement? What are the skills you can acquire in a short period of time? All these things helps you your career paths. So let's talk further on skills of a quality tester. There's the technical skill part, the analytical skill part, the attention to details, effective communication, patient and persistent. So I'll further break this down into functional and non-functional skills. So this is the functional skills required by a tester. And again, mind you, what we are discussing today is how to enter the field of software testing. And it's also important we mention some of the basic skills or core skills that are required for you to enter this field. And I always emphasize on as important as the technical skills may seem, the non-technical skills are also very important. In fact, in most tech companies, many of us are familiar with culture fit interview. This is usually like the last stage of interview. They want to know if you are culturally fit. What's your take on communication, collaboration, teamwork, problem-solving skills, So you could have passed all the technical phase, yes, and you get culture fit and you realize that, oh, this individual is not culturally fit, So I'm going to take a few. One is attention to details. So software testers should have a keen eye for details. And so attention to details can cut across things around even requirements, gathering analysis, while testing the application. You need to pay attention to business expectations and also pay attention to end users' needs or expectations as well. So teamwork and communication. Teamwork is very, very important. Like I always tell people, some of us, we need to, have a different personality when it comes to work. I did it. Before testing, I used to be this very, quiet guy that doesn't like to really mingle with people. I just want to do my thing, But getting into the industry, I realized that, hey, I need to change my personality. I need to be able to collaborate. I need to be able to communicate. I need to love teamwork, work with other people. Because the truth is, as a company or as an organization, we are all working towards a common goal. And it is expected that everybody buy the teamwork culture. So teamwork is very important. Communication to effective communication is very, very important. How you communicate is very important. When it comes to written communication, you need to communicate in a way that even a layman can understand what you are trying to say. And there's what we also call timely communication. All these things are very, very important in testing. For example, you find a bug, it is expected that you report it immediately, and if need be, escalate it immediately. I remember my early days in testing. I can find a bug today and I'll be reporting it tomorrow, which frustrated my lead then. But again, as I was growing, I was learning and getting better. So effective communication, empathy and creativity. So yeah, I've talked about understanding perspective of end users. It is very important to know that whatever we are building is not just for the business, it's for the end users. These are the people that are going to use the application. These are the people that are going to make, enable the business to generate more revenue, make more money. So it is important that whatever we are testing meets the end user needs. And how is this possible? by sitting in the shoes of the end users. So any application you are testing, you should be able to sit down in the shoes of whoever is using it. For example, if you are building an application for say for lecturers. I remember when I tested a plagiarism application for lecturers in the University of Lagos. I realized that the fonts were a bit faint. The truth of the matter is that I could see it clearly, but because I put myself in the shoes of lecturers, old men using glasses, I said they won't be able to see this text without their glasses. This was possible because I put myself in the end user's shoes and I could see things from their perspective. Then tester needs to think creatively about different test scenarios or different ways to test an application. I always tell people again that testing is about mindsets. It's how you think. You need to be able to think differently. Your thinking is your thinking. It's a free gift for God from God. So use it the way you want to. Think anyhow. I always tell, think freely. Think outside of the box. You need to be creative with your thinking, and this is going to help you, test when it comes to come up with different test scenarios. When I say scenarios, different ways of testing a future. So next is problem solving skill. As a software tester, it's all about hunting for flaws and solving puzzle. So your application on that test, you need to be able to put it in such a way like I'm solving a puzzle. I'm trying different things, trying different test scenarios and all. So it still boils down to how creative you are when it comes to your thinking and all. Then time management. This is one aspect that some of us find difficult early in our career to manage. Time management, how to use your time efficiently, when to know, how to know when to apply different types of tests. Some of us we find ourselves in a very fast environment, an organization that is always under pressure. They need to go live, they need to deploy. Time is going, and how do you manage your time? So these are some of the skills that we need to learn as we progress in this career. Talk about critical thinking. Testers should be able to think critically about software they are testing, identify potential risks, considering different scenarios. Also, adaptability. One thing we need to know is that software projects are dynamic. They can change. Requirements can change anytime. Technology trends are changing. The way applications are being built are also changing. So testers must be able to adapt and willing to adjust to changes. Project scope, objective, outside of scopes. And one of our jobs as tester, we also suggest or suggest or improve our application. So as testers, I see the way a competitor is doing, maybe they're signing. They added maybe a new feature. Customer can now sign in with social media. It's something that I can also propose to my organization. So next is passion. To excel in this professional job, one must have a significant degree of passion for it. Okay, still on track. So passion is very key. Passion is very, very key. You must love it and you must be committed. And finally, continuous learning.
Why are you doing that?
I'm tired. Yeah, thank you. So finally, continuous learning. This is something everyone must love, continuous learning. The more you learn, the better you become, the more confidence you become. Like I always tell people, your skill is your voice, is your confidence. And I know many of us, we want to come into this career path. One of the things is to make more money. Yes, the more you learn, the more money you also make. So always enjoy continuous learning and improvement in any field you find yourself, not just software testing. So here's the technical skill. So these are a few technical skills that are required for anyone that wants to start a career in software testing. Not necessarily you must learn everything, but these are just basic skills. The most important here is the manual testing skills. The manual testing skills is enough to get you a software testing job. Also, while learning the manual testing skills, defect management is also another technical skills you need to have. So these are tools that we use in managing testing activities, from bug reporting to different test execution. Then the rest are more like intermediate, advanced. But if you can also pick this up early in your career, it's a plus for you. But again, I always advise the foundation is manual testing. It's always good to get the foundation very well, which is manual testing, before diving into the likes of automation, performance, database, and API testing. So yes, how to enter the field of software testing. Excuse me. So the first thing here is to make a decision. So I strongly believe some of us on this call has made that decision, and some are going to make that decision at the end of this call. Make a decision. Educational background and prerequisite training, certification, practice manual testing, get a mentor, networking, apply for entry-level position, fill your resume, interview preparation, continuous learning, and job performance and growth. I know some of the questions people usually ask is, how long does it take to learn and enter the field of testing? I always tell people 1 to 3 months. I've seen quite a lot of people getting jobs in 1 month by just applying, this principle. Again, it's more of how much are you ready to put in, determines how fast you can get out of it. Yes, so let me take it one after the other. So one, make the decision. Do your research to know what software testing entails. Talk to industry experts to gain more insight about software testing. They can enlighten you more and help in your decision making. Educational background and its prerequisites. So one thing you need to know is, to become a software tester, there's no specific degree tied to it. But having a background in computer science, information technology is a plus. But again, it's not a prerequisite. I studied mathematics. I know a lot of people that studied things around biochemistry. Many of us, I know we didn't go through the computer information science degree to enter this field. So next is training and certification. It's always good to enroll for courses. This can help you speed up your learning and help you get job faster, point you in the right path. So you can enroll in online courses, get certifications if need be, and yeah. Then next, practice manual testing. Like I stated earlier, this is the foundation, manual testing. Be very good at it. Spend a lot of time on it before moving to other career paths. Get a mentor. It's always good to have a mentor in not just testing, any field you find yourself. This is one thing that has really helped me in my career path, having a mentor. When I started earlier, I was trying to be everywhere. I was trying to, I was confused. I was just trying everything. My mentor was able to point me in the right direction, was able to identify my strengths, my weaknesses, and, put me in the right path. And before you know it, things were moving faster for me. Networking and learning from experts. This is one key area, again, I need to encourage us, networking. Remember I said something about some of us need to change our personality or my kind of person. You need to network. It's very important. Meet people, go for conferences, webinar, connect with people, let them know you are this, I'm into testing and I'm hoping for opportunities, and keep doing that. Before you know it, something good will jump on you in terms of the jobs and all. Again, apply for internship. So while undergoing training or you're done with training and the job is still not forthcoming, I always advise apply for internship. This will also, build you, give you more hands-on experience. You even have the opportunity to work with a team in an organization and, understand the entire processes. And next year, apply for entry-level position as well. Write a cover letter, resume, float your CV, and keep applying. So float your resume, update your LinkedIn profile, search for jobs on company website, social media platform, and keep doing that. Then it's also important you prepare yourself for interview. Every job you apply for, we definitely interview you for that position. So these are things you also need to prepare for. And again, I'll keep saying continuous learning is sweet. Keep learning, enjoy learning, keep improving yourself. Yes. So join testing communities as well. There are quite a lot of communities on LinkedIn, Telegram, WhatsApp, Facebook. Join as many as you can and be patient and be persistent. Don't give up. Keep pushing, keep learning. I remember there was a time a lady walked up to me. I think after the training, she came like after 3 months or thereabout, that she had been applying, she's not getting job. And I said, so I know what, stop applying. After having conversation with her, I said, stop applying. Just keep improving yourself. Go and learn this, learn that, And in less than 2 months, she got her job, So yeah, she was patient. She kept learning and she got the job. There was this guy too. While we were doing the training, I think the 4th week, he got his job. And I asked him, how did you do it? He said he applied these 13 principles that are listed here. He said he went on LinkedIn, he composed the message, he prepared the CV, and he sent it to about 50 people. At the end of the day, one person replied, and that was how he got his job. And today, I think from there has worked with GTB and different organizations. And the good thing about testing is once you are in, you just keep growing. You keep growing, and another advantage is that there's job security. Once you have that skill, trust me, your job is secure. Even if your company lets you go, there are thousands of companies out there waiting for you. By the grace of God, the last time I was out of job was 2017. Yeah. So I started my career 2014 with Konga. And yeah, the last time I was out of job was in 2017, and that lasted for about 2 months or thereabouts. Yeah, I remember that period. I told myself, let me use this. So it happened in October, and I said to myself, let me use November and December to just, go on vacation, enjoy myself, no work pressure. And before I could finish my holiday, a company called, and before I knew it, I resumed January the following year. And a lot of people like that.
Wow.
So remember that software testing is a dynamic field, and your willingness to learn and adapt will be a valuable asset throughout your career. And another thing I need to mention is, trust me, software testing is very easy to learn. It's very easy to pick up. In fact, when it comes to entry level into tech, software testing is the easiest part to enter tech. I'm training for I'll say over 6 years now. I've seen people of different background, culture, ethnic groups. I've seen even nursing mothers, people coming from, I don't let me say, but you get, I've trained someone that almost gave up. Well, To be honest, I almost gave up on her. When someone is that bad, you need to tell them where some keys are on the laptop. But I always use these two sisters as an example. They came from the East and they came to learn testing. Yes, it took them 6 months to get their first job. It wasn't easy after the whole training. But one thing I liked about them, they were consistent. Even though they were not, when it comes to their computer background, it's let me use the word poor, but they were consistent and they kept at it. And before you knew it, they got their first job. And today, in fact, they are big girls in the industry, work with different, industry and all. Because of time, okay, we're almost rounding up. Yeah, so again, this webinar is to show you what it takes to kickstart a career in software testing. It also helps you to make your decision. So remember that a proactive and continuous learning mindset is essential in the software testing field. Be open to learning from experiences, adapting new technologies, and refining your testing skills over time. Building a strong foundation, manual testing first, and staying up to date will help you thrive in this dynamic field. So, yes, at this time, if you have questions, please feel free to ask. You can also drop your question on the chat if you want to. Yeah, there are some questions here. Is software testing in high demand? Yes, it's in high demand. So with technology advancing and becoming more complex, software testers are high in demand all over the world. So any country that there are tech companies or they build softwares, just know that testers are required. Does software testing have a future? Yes, it does, because it's the backbone of every application, IT products or services. How fast can I learn software testing and land my first job? 1 to 3 months. Are software tester well paid? Yes, because if it's not well paid, it won't be the second happiest job in the world, because I know one of the things that makes us smile at the end of the month is, when we hear a lot, thinking, yeah.
Mhm. What was the first happiest job in the world?
The current happiest job in the world, I think we need to ask Google. Yeah, at some point it was software testing, but I don't know which it is now. Yeah.
So more questions, anybody? Please feel free to ask your questions. Yeah, Toby's ready to take all questions. We want to have the question and answer session for like 15 minutes. Even if it's something he has said that you don't quite understand, please feel free to ask. And so it can answer you and you have clarity on it. And then the questions can also be an advantage for persons who also do not want to talk.
I have a question.
Please feel free to go ahead.
So for like further training and more like in-depth training for software testing, so like how do I continue that?
Okay, so how